Welcome to DRTSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello, and a warm welcome. Close on the heels of the show what we have done yesterday. Many wanted me to repeat that show, but I am repeating not that show, but in continuation of the same show, which I'll be showing it to you on your screen now. So everyone wanted me to repeat this. इज इंडिया भारत मॉर्निंग, भारत शोक मना रहा है क्या? क्योंकि 7 बच्चे जिंदा जलकर राख हो गए दिल्ली एक अस्पताल में, और 33 लोग राजकोट गेम जो जगह है वहां पर जल के राख हो गए, और उसमें 3 नटखट बच्चे और बच्चियां भी थे। इतनी बड़ी हादसा, देश इसके ऊपर चिंतित नहीं है? यही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। क्या लोग और उनके जीवन महत्व है, या चुनाव किस लिए लड़ रहे भाई आप? लोग जब सुरक्षित नहीं है, why are you fighting elections if people are not safe? 7 innocent babies were charged to death beyond recognition. DNA samples have to be collected. How shame and how brutal that these deaths are in a Delhi hospital. No one discusses. This doesn't become a national issue. We are not mourning baby's death. 9 months, a mother struggles to deliver the baby. And before that 9 months, many couples, new married couples or the couples, pray to have children, and they're spending lakhs. Artificial means are adopted. But when you have such natural parents celebrating the delivery of their newborn babies, if they are dying for no fault of theirs, should a nation mourn or not? Similarly, the Rajkot fire, where because of government's permission only all these gaming zones are started, and these gaming zones are funding electoral parties, including DMK and BJP, Congress, everyone. Like those hospitals you have seen, how they have been funding political parties. They have gone in Rajkot, Gujarat, along with families. They have taken children holidays time so that they can be indoors, and it is very bad. Children and parents, that will eat your brain, radio waves, and it will make you to forget. Tomorrow when you go to school or college, there it is interactive session. Because you are sitting on the game, it will be only one way. They will not allow your mind to work. Your mind is totally engrossed. Your mind is hacked, hijacked. That is why when such fire happened, there was no chance for children or parents to move out, because they were deeply engrossed. That is the danger of these games. And they have taken precious lives, 9 children in that. Nation doesn't mourn. It's a shame. It's a shame. So what happened to fire safety norms? धज्जियां उड़ गए। क्या हुआ? अग्नि सुरक्षक नियम निबंधन कोई बात नहीं करता। तो जब ये हमारी मानव ने किया है, उसी तरह आज मैं जो टॉपिक ले रहा हूं, ये भी हिमालयस, जो मैं रेगुलरली मैं शो कर रहा हूं हिमालयस के ऊपर, मैं बताता हूं। अभी मैं बहुत रेगुलरली हिमालयस के ऊपर शो कर रहा हूं। ये देखिए, हिमालयन एनवायरमेंटल एंड डेवलपमेंट क्राइसिस, इससे बड़ा है, क्योंकि वहां पर तो सरकार की गलती है और हमारे बच्चे राख हो गए इंसान। लेकिन हम प्रकृति को सहज सिद्ध अगर जीवन बिताना है, हिमालय जैसे और हमारी सहज संपदा प्रकृति को बना के रखना चाहिए। लेकिन अगर हम इसको खो बैठे तो हमारी जिंदगी क्या होगी? इसीलिए हमने हिमालय के ऊपर काफी शोज किया है, काफी शोज किया है। हिमालयन रेंज के ऊपर हमारे वो पहाड़ जो है, पहाड़, हिमालय के पहाड़ जो है, 50% दुनिया के लोगों को जिंदगी देती है। पानी से लेके अच्छी श्वास, जो हम जो श्वास लेते हैं, अच्छी हवा, और वहां से वृक्ष भी आते हैं, काफी वृक्ष, वहां सहज सिद्ध वृक्षों से जीवन जाता है और दवाएं भी आती है। ऐसी हमारे हिमालय पहाड़ियां का भी। और मैं जहाँ से शो कर रहा हूँ आज, केरल, जहाँ वेस्टर्न घाट्स, पश्चिम घाट जो कहते हैं, वहां से हमारी ऋतु जो मानसून सीजन स्टार्ट होती है। अगर इन चीजों को हम सही सलामत नहीं लगाए तो भारत का क्या होगा? और भारत के आसपास नेपाल से लेके कई देश, चाइना, उनकी क्या होगी अगर हिमालयस खत्म हो गए? और हमारे वेस्टर्न घाट जो साउथ वेस्ट मानसून कहते हैं, ఋతుపవనాలు, మనం ఇక్కడ ఈ సౌత్ వెస్ట్ అంటే మనం దక్షిణ పశ్చిమ నుంచి వచ్చే ఋతుపవనాలు, వాటిని గాన అక్కడ మైనింగ్, ఇంటెన్స్ మైనింగ్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ కేరళ సైడ్ అండ్ తమిళనాడు సైడ్. వాట్ ఇఫ్ మైనింగ్ హ్యాపెన్స్? It is raining here heavily. I'm just showing you some visuals from Kerala at this time. So this is raining. We are going through southwest monsoon here in Kerala. But what if you try to, the way they are trying to destroy by ordering illegal mining in Western Ghats, and also on the ocean side, illegal mining, where even Pinarayi Vijayan's own daughter has been named and ED case has been filed, has been supporting corporate companies. If you interfere with the nature, nature will destroy you. Your living will be in crisis. So I'm taking today what has happened to Venezuela. It's a South American country. Where is it is located? I'm just trying to show you. Venezuela. Venezuela is located in the north of South America. Geologically, its mainland rests on the South American plate. It has a total area of so and so and a land area of so and so, making Venezuela the 33rd largest country in the world. What has happened to Venezuela today? And what is happening to Venezuela? So I'm just showing you, I'm just rushing through. And then, likewise, I'll try to show you. We have two poles, north and southern pole, and Himalayas are supposed to be called as the third pole. Everyone is aware. Just go through the diagram. See, time of year, North Pole, summer, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees centigrade. South Pole, minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 28.2 degrees centigrade. Winter, minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit in North Pole, minus 40 degrees centigrade we call. And in South Pole, it is minus 76 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 60 degrees. Because Himalayas have been projecting. And what makes North Pole really cold? See, this is how North Pole sits in the middle of Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean and the land around it make up the Arctic region. This is North Pole for you. You see Pacific here, Atlantic here, North America, Asia, Europe, Africa. Now we'll come to South Pole. I'm just trying to give you, heading to south, we find the opposite. Now we have land surrounded by ocean. There, it's different in South Pole. This is Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, again, Indian Ocean, Australia. This is Antarctica. This is South America, Africa. See, this is how the continent of Antarctica is dry and high. So it's so these are North and South Poles before we just venture into how cold they are. And are they remaining so cold? What is happening with Antarctica also we have seen. So now we'll come to Venezuela. Before going to Venezuela, yes. We will start with the end of glaciers in Venezuela. It had 6 glaciers. The end of the era of glaciers in Venezuela. How important this is for India when Himalayas are no more. So, this is how it is. The end of, see, little part. Now they have designated this as ice field, not mountain anymore. Not ice mountain anymore. So, the end of the era of glaciers in Venezuela. Venezuela, a country of great natural diversity and picturesque landscapes, has just lost all its glaciers. This event of great local significance highlights the impact of global warming on our environment. Located in the Andes on the majestic Mount Humboldt, Venezuela's last glacier has shrunk to an ice field, symbolizing the end of country's glacier era. How dangerous this is going to be the world, and how difficult it is for Venezuela, and how difficult it will be for the world. I'll show you the disappearance of, so one by one, 6 glaciers have disappeared. Now I'll come to show you what glacier is all about. Trying to enlarge. A glacier is a large perennial accumulation of crystalline ice, snow, rock, sediment, and often liquid water that originates on land and moves downslope under the influence of its own weight and gravity. This goes and joins the sea, and en route, it has main rivers, rivulets, giving fresh water to human beings. And the fauna, everything, the green are because of this. And many animals, special species also survive because of this. And the irrigation out of which we get food, agriculture is done by these rivers. So likewise, and then the climate change, which happens because of these rivers as it goes on, joins the seas. So this is the glacier. Now, such type of 6 glaciers have gone away from Venezuela. This is what the end of the era of glaciers in Venezuela. So how this entire area was like this. This was how Venezuela was, the 6 glaciers. Now how it is? It has just plain mountains, little bit of ice field here and there. This was all ice before. Now it is lost, all the ice, all the glaciers. The disappearance. See how dangerous it is. The end of glacial era and the effects on ecosystem and local communities. See, the disappearance of glaciers has serious consequences for local ecosystems and communities. The snow melt water from the source fed the rivers that irrigated the valleys and provided water to towns and villages. In the Andes, where glaciers play a key role in the hydrological cycle, the disappearance of La Corona has reduced water flow in rivers, especially during dry periods. The absence of this source means that local farmers will have to rely on less reliable resources, which could lead to lower yields and high food prices. Starvation, famine, people will fight because the food becomes costly. If you don't have food, your life becomes very difficult on this earth. For Venezuela, a country already facing a political and economic crisis, the disappearance of glaciers is another major problem. More countries may share Venezuela's fate. India, Himalayas, likewise Nepal, Bhutan, even China, Burma. 50% of world population is dependent on these baby Himalayas. We call the third pole after North and South Pole. Now the North and South Pole, the countries are losing their glaciers. Why are they losing their glaciers? That also will come. The case of Venezuela is a warning to the rest of the world. What is happening in Andes may soon be seen in other parts of the globe as well. Glacier melt is a problem that affects the Alps in Europe or the Himalayas in Asia. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Alps in Europe or Himalayas in Asia, but also many other mountainous regions on all continents. The cause of this phenomena is universal and documented. Rising greenhouse gas emissions. These greenhouse gas emissions, right from America, developing countries, they have trying to grow artificially that area, that country or that region will not grow. That is why these greenhouses, they are employed to grow artificially. For example, if Kashmir is giving you apple, if Kanyakumari is giving you coconut, you try to grow apple in Kanyakumari, the same coconut you will try to grow in Kashmir. Soil is not conducive, weather is not conducive, then what will you do? You will create an artificial greenhouse wherein you will create in Kashmir, Kanyakumari like. It is a mean sea level where the sea and land are on the same. From there, you go to such height in Kashmir. See the weather patterns, soil patterns, everything changes. But you are creating Kanyakumari in Kashmir in the form of greenhouse to grow coconut. How will you do that? Through these chemical fertilizers. You try to create a soil which becomes conducive to these chemical fertilizers, and on that you will have not proper grown seeds, hybrid seeds, which are not at all natural. So you got my chemical fertilizers, hybrid seeds. To improve the yield, again you use pesticides. So when you do indulge in all this, the gases which these greenhouses release, whether it is methane or carbon dioxide, they are the most dangerous, which have started to destroy. That is why the intense heat is happening across the globe, including India. You might have seen whether it is Hyderabad, where now Delhi is reeling under extreme temperature. In this extreme temperature, 7 kids were charred to death in that fire. Similar way, South experienced extreme heat. North, West, East and India, they are experiencing extreme heat because in the name of development, you are indulging in chemical agriculture by having all these fertilizers. So these Europe and US, they created such type of greenhouses there to grow artificially. And these fertilizers are the end products of fossil fuels. See, fossil fuels, they're not wasting. They have used those end products for in the form of fertilizers, pesticides, everything. They started to export. This is how Swaminathan, in the name of Green Revolution, destroyed India by having more yield, by having this type of agriculture, which is chemical, by using fertilizers, artificial seeds, native seeds gone, and pesticides. They have destroyed our Mother Earth, environment. And when you eat such type of food stuff, our health is also gone to dogs. That is why vaccinations, more vaccinations. But that 10% of the population who are manufacturing those ureas, artificial seeds or pesticides, they don't eat this. Mind you, they don't eat this. Now, that green revolution, that gas, those greenhouses are the major causes for the earth to become more warmer and warmer by having release of carbon dioxide, methane, like harmful gases. They are the ones which have started to destroy all these glaciers. Now, Europe has started Alps. Tomorrow, Himalayas, already in the name of development, they are trying to break Himalayas, tunnel Himalayas, baby. They are not withholding. They are disturbing. That dust goes and falls on the glaciers. Already, entire region is very hot because of indulging in such type of development and agriculture, which is very chemical. When we have all seasons, when you can grow coconut in Kanyakumari, when you can have apple in Kashmir, why should you have apple in Kanyakumari? Why should you grow coconut in Kashmir? I hope everyone understands. Rising, the cause of this phenomena is universal and documented. Rising greenhouse gas emissions that led to increased global temperatures. Rising temperatures accelerate the melting of glaciers, which in turn affects sea and ocean levels and the local ecosystem that depend on them. The example of Venezuela shows that without decisive action, a similar fate could befall more glaciers with serious consequences for humanity and the environment. Global temperatures have been rising by average 0.06 degrees per decade since 1850, the time of industrial revolution, emitting serious gases into the air in the name of development. In recent years, due to increased greenhouse gas emissions, The rate has accelerated significantly. Since the 1980s, it has been more than 3 times higher than the historical average. See here, I'm showing you Earth's ice loss 1994 to 2017. Arctic sea ice. This is the major, how it has been, we have been losing ice. Antarctic ice shelves. See, these are the ones, how we started to lose. Mountain glaciers. These are the mountain glaciers, how we are losing. And then Greenland ice sheet. Greenland ice sheet, we have started to lose. Antarctic ice sheet. This is how we are losing. And Southern Ocean sea ice. This means the more and more countries will lose their glaciers, according to Maximilian Herrera, a climatologist and weather historian. Indonesia, Mexico, and Slovenia are the next countries at risk of losing their glaciers altogether. Currently, 2 of them are experiencing record heat. Indonesia, Mexico, and Slovenia, they are experiencing extreme heat, further accelerating melting process. The example of La Corona Glacier is a harbinger of what many await other regions of the world as temperature continues. What may await other regions of the world as temperatures continues to rise. आप देखिए किस तरह हमारी गर्मी बढ़ती है. सहज सिद्ध हम किसान के द्वारा जो खेती होती है वो नहीं करते हैं, और ये ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस जिस तरह कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हो, मीथेन हो जो रिलीज करते हैं, और साथ में हमारे ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री भी आप देख चुके हैं किस तरह जो प्रदूषण करता है, उससे गर्मी बढ़ती है. गर्मी से हमारे पूरे जो आइस है वो पिघल जाती है और उसका असर हमारे ऊपर पड़ता है. आज वेनेजुएला के ऊपर हुआ, कल इंडोनेशिया, मेक्सिको, स्लोवेनिया के ऊपर होगा, बाद में हिमालयास, पूरा दुनिया का यही हाल होगा. और ये ग्लेशियर्स कितने टाइप के हैं, क्या है, एक बार बताने की कोशिश करता हूं. और आज की हाल क्या है वेनेजुएला में वो भी बताता हूं मैं आपको, और कारण क्या है भी बताता हूं मैं. आज देखिए आज हालत क्या है वेनेजुएला की. वहां पर लोग इस तरह की हाल में है, इस तरह की हाल में है. आज खाने के लिए, पीने के लिए इतनी बड़ी तादाद में लोग वहां पर लाइन में हैं, क्योंकि वो ग्लेशियर्स खत्म हो गए. वहां पानी सहज सिद्ध पानी आती थी वो खत्म हो गई है, और वहां की खेती बाड़ी खत्म हो गई है. और देखिए those glaciers, they started to melt. The natural water which used to flow is gone. Now they have to depend on less intensified rainfall. That is why scarcity of food, famine, leading to socio-economical and political crisis. This is what happens. Long queues you witness, heavy price for food or water. You want to go that way? आप इस तरह होना चाहते हैं क्या? सोचिए आप. इसीलिए वेनेजुएला एक बड़ी उदाहरण हमारे सामने उभर कर आ रही है. इसीलिए ये देखिए इस तरह की रहनी चाहिए. ये है स्नो क्लैड ग्लेशियर्स कैसे हो गई. देखिए आज ड्राई हो गया. कहाँ है आइस, कहाँ है, वेयर इज द आइस. सब कुछ खत्म, एवरीथिंग वी लॉस्ट. दिस इज हाउ दिस वाज लाइक दिस बिफोर. Because of extreme heat conditions prevailing, this has become like this. So can you get water from here? From here, the origin of rivers like Himalayas, you have seen river Ganges, Yamuna, Ganga हो या यमुना हो, वहीं से आता है. और हर एक राष्ट्र में हम जो वेस्टर्न घाट्स की जो यहाँ बात करते हैं, कितने रिवर्स, नदियां वहां से आते हैं, और ये सब कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा अगर आप इस तरह की जिंदगी जीने की पसंद करें. आप ना समझ हो जाए. इफ यू बिकम इग्नोरेंट एंड इफ यू बिकम totally indecisive, the Venezuela like situation will come to India too. So be careful, don't land into such type of situation. And I'm trying to show you that this is how it is. See, now it has become parched, dry. Now they have labeled this as not glacier, just ice field. This is how it would have been. Now the serious effect. When you go to Himachal Pradesh, you are witnessing already Himalayas. The same thing is happening in Kashmir and all that northeastern range, because in the name of development, you are destroying the nature. Venezuela had 6 glaciers spanning 10 square kilometers in the Sierra Nevada mountain range, but lost 5 of them by 2011. Climate scientists found that the last Humboldt Glacier shrunk to an area of less than 2 hectares, thus downgrading it from a glacier to an ice field. From where will you get fresh water? Just trying to show you. Slovenia and Venezuela, I've shown you, Indonesia, Mexico, they're all falling in line. What are the 3 largest glaciers in the world? Iceland, you have one, Flade in Greenland, and Cellar Glacier in Antarctica. They're all quickly vanishing. And I will just try to show you the types of glaciers. So types of glaciers you find: Icefield Glacier, then Sid Glacier, Valley Glacier, Tidewater Glacier. From here, it will join the ocean, this Tidewater Glacier. See different, how they combine together, and this Tidewater Glacier with that rivers and all, ultimately it comes to the ocean. This graph shows different types of glaciers. So alpine glaciers develop in high mountain regions, often flowing out of ice fields that span several peaks or even a mountain range. The largest mountain glaciers are found in Arctic, Canada, Alaska, and the Andes in South America, and the Himalaya in Asia. Now you have the largest mountain glaciers are found in Arctic, Canada, Alaska, the Andes in South America. This is where Venezuela country is. Now they have started to melt. 6 glaciers disappeared. And then the Himalaya in Asia. These are the alpine glaciers. So as you find it here, different type of glaciers. Just trying to show you what will happen tomorrow. This, such a beautiful image to look at. This is how we get fresh water, and it will maintain ecological balance, and the temperature is regulated, and you get water for irrigation through them, so that your food is grown. Fresh water, your food, climate changes, you get regulation of the climate, and everything is vanishing. Everything is vanishing just because of this. Our stupidity in the name of trying to use them. So I'm just trying to limit my show so that you'll not get confused. You'll understand the importance of how many pictures I have to show you. The end of the era of glaciers in Venezuela. Trying to show you so that this is the fate, how they are standing. Specifically, since the Industrial Revolution, carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases emissions have raised temperatures even higher in the poles, and as a result, glaciers are rapidly melting, calving off into the sea and retreating on land. What are the 3 effects that glaciers have on the environment? Glaciers act as reservoirs of water that persist through summer. Continual melt from glaciers contributes water to the ecosystem throughout dry months, even summer. These are the glaciers which give you water. What if they melt? Will you have water? Creating perennial stream habitat and a water source for plants and animals. The cold runoff from glaciers also affects downstream water temperatures. How do we stop melting glaciers? Reduce carbon emissions. The most effective way is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, which are a major cause of global warming. This can be done by using renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency and reducing deforestation. Now, Modi has brought amendments to Forest and Environment Act. That is how they are using Himalayas now. Thick forests in every region in the name of development, and to have highly pollutant pharma garment industries along with other industries in the name of development. That is why they have brought amendments to Forest and Environment Acts. How dangerous this is. That is why we have been questioning Modi, whether he's well read, whether he's understanding before he's signing. That is why we have complained when they said he is not well read. Election Commission of India sleeping on his educational qualifications petition because he is our honorable Prime Minister. He should not be influenced, unduly influenced at the cost of India. India means people. People means all resources belong to every citizen of India, not just Modi or those bureaucrats or those few corporates who are trying to destroy the spirit of survival in symbiosis with nature. So you can stop using fossil fuel, that, and then energy efficiency and reducing deforestation. This is how we are trying to. What are the effects of the ice? When this ice melts or calves off, the water flows into the oceans and the sea levels rise. If all glaciers and ice sheets melted, global sea level would rise by more than 195 feet, 60 meters. If that is the case, entire sea will swallow the Mother Earth. Will you survive? Can we survive? Now you understand. Now you understand. Who is affected by the melting ice? When there is less sea ice, animals that depend on it for survival must adopt or perish. Loss of ice and melting spells trouble for polar bears, everything, the species, including as it is affecting human. What are the benefits of glaciers? The benefits detailed in the paper include fresh water for drinking, glacial runoff that supports hydropower. We get hydropower, then carbon sequestration, water temperature regulation, and water purification. As climate change works on glacial ecosystems, humans may see a temporary uptick in the useful aspects of glaciers, albeit briefly. So these are the fundamental aspects, benefits of glaciers. Fresh water, glacial runoff that supports hydropower, you get energy. Now, through energy, you are able to watch me. Carbon sequestration, the more carbon which is released, these type of glaciers through that green coverage, they observe it. Water temperature regulation and water purification. So this is the advantage we are going to lose. How to stop glaciers from melting? How can we prevent glaciers from melting? Using electricity and water wisely, to swap from energy produced by fossil fuels to clean energy sources such as wind and solar energy, driving less and walking more, or taking the public transportation system. Now, Modi era, entire world, they have made the normal public transport costly, and they are trying to destroy the public transport system for private entrepreneurs. That is why more of Ola, Uber, you are trying to watch. Instead of having the public transport, whether it is metro, whether road transport corporation buses, you can have clean energy buses, metro clean energy. Instead of that, the way they have been in collusion with automobile industry, producing more so that you have more rental cars in the name of Uber, Ola, because they are paying more money, automobile industries and these traders who are running, and they are saying in the name of employment too, in the form of drivers, they are destroying our own faith. They can create alternate employment when you use public transport, but they don't want to encourage. That is why citizens should become aware how to stop glaciers from melting. Just giving you every bit of it so that you understand how dangerous. And now I'll try to show you how a glacier melts.
The sheet of ice that covers Greenland contains enough frozen water to raise oceans by 25 feet across the globe. As the planet warms, glaciers melt, causing sea levels to rise. But not all of that melt happens at the surface. In the summertime, rivers and pools of meltwater find their way down through the glacier to the bed below. From there, the water runs beneath the glacier until it reaches the ocean. Because meltwater contains no salt, it weighs less than ocean water and rises up the front of the glacier in what scientists call a plume. Around Greenland, oceans are cold and fresh near the surface and warm and salty at depth. As the plume rises, it draws in the warm, salty water, melting the glacier face from the bottom up. Eventually, a piece of the glacier breaks off, making an iceberg in a process known as calving. As the oceans warm, calving speeds up, causing glaciers to retreat and flow faster. Faster glaciers dump more ice into the oceans and drive sea levels higher across the globe.
I'll show you again. You can watch it. And trying to give you I have it here.
High up in the mountains and at the polar edges of our planet, glaciers have stood for millennia as silent sentinels of time. These colossal ice masses are more than just frozen water. They are intricate archives of Earth's climatic history and vital components of our planet's ecosystem. However, the serene beauty of these glaciers is under threat. They are melting at an unprecedented rate, and this phenomenon carries profound implications for our world. The primary driver of glacier melting is climate change, a result of human activities that increase greenhouse gas emissions. Burning fossil fuels for energy, deforestation, and industrial processes release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat, leading to global warming. Over the past century, the average global temperature has risen by approximately 1 degree Celsius. While this might not seem significant, even small temperature increases can have devastating effects on glaciers. Warmer air and ocean temperatures lead to accelerated melting and reduced snowfall, which diminishes glaciers' ability to replenish themselves. Additionally, pollutants like soot and black carbon, often from burning biomass and fossil fuels, settle on glacier surfaces. These dark particles absorb more sunlight and heat, speeding up the melting process. The impacts of melting glaciers are far-reaching. One of the most immediate consequences is rising sea levels. As glaciers melt, the water flows into the oceans, contributing to sea level rise. Scientists predict that by the end of the 21st century, half of the world's glaciers could be gone, causing sea levels to rise significantly. This poses a significant threat to coastal communities, increasing the risk of flooding, erosion, and habitat loss. Moreover, millions of people around the world depend on glacial meltwater for drinking, agriculture, and hydropower. As glaciers recede, these water sources become less reliable, threatening food security and livelihoods. Glacier melting also affects global weather patterns. The influx of fresh water into the oceans can disrupt ocean currents, which play a crucial role in regulating climate. This disruption can lead to more extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, heat waves, and heavy rainfall. Additionally, the loss of glaciers endangers wildlife that depend on icy habitats. Species like polar bears, seals, and various types of fish are particularly vulnerable as their homes and hunting grounds diminish. Addressing the issue of melting glaciers requires a multifaceted approach. One of the most effective solutions is transitioning to renewable energy sources, such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. By reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, we can significantly cut down greenhouse gas emissions. Reforestation and sustainable land management are also crucial. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, and healthy ecosystems can better withstand climate changes. Implementing sustainable agricultural practices can reduce emissions and increase resilience. On a larger scale, international cooperation is essential. Policies and agreements aimed at reducing carbon emissions, such as the Paris Agreement, are vital for global climate action. Governments, businesses, and individuals must work together to meet these targets and mitigate climate change. The melting of glaciers is a clear and urgent indicator of our changing climate. By taking decisive action now, we can protect these vital natural resources and build a sustainable future for generations to come. Help us to educate others by sharing this with your friends, family, and the rest of the world.
Yeah. Trying to just show you because
Today's UN report details the relentless advance of climate change on every continent. The world's glaciers shrinking at a dramatic pace right before our eyes.
It's not just that we're losing ice, but we're losing ice faster and faster, and that has consequences.
The 40 glaciers tracked worldwide lost an average of more than 4.2 feet of ice in a year. In Europe, the melting of the glaciers in the Alps is off the charts. Little winter snow and a summer heat wave, exacerbated by dark dust from the Saharan desert that trapped heat, accelerating the record melt. Scientist Matthias Hunt showing NBC News the devastating impact in January.
You can see it, and it's much more obvious than seeing just a graph with rising temperatures.
In Switzerland, for the first time, no snow survived the summer melt season, even at the very highest sites. In this country, Montana's Glacier National Park is in danger of losing its namesake ice. The park has lost 85% of its ice area. That was 5 years ago. Today, the government says the park is warming at twice the global average. All this glacier melt contributing to record sea level rise. Here in Lower Manhattan, scientists predict the waters behind me could rise another foot by 2050. But we can slow it down.
Every 10th of a degree of warming is worth fighting for.
To survive more floods, heat waves, and droughts that inflict the lethal human toll of climate change. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
so this is what
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's
we
top
are
stories
trying
and
to bring
breaking.
you major, and I've shown you how it is melt. It's trying to melt, and yeah. Venezuela may be the first nation in modern history to lose all its glaciers after the climate scientists it has already lost. This has been reduced to, and I think I've already shown you everything. So after Venezuela, is it going to be Indonesia, Mexico, Slovenia, and then India? Watch out. So that's why we are stating this is, if you want this to sustain, it is in your hands. So I'm just trying to conclude. The loss of Venezuela's glaciers stresses the urgent need for global action against climate change. As temperatures continues to rise, glaciers worldwide face a similar fate with devastating implications for ecosystems and communities reliant on their fresh water reserves. So this is for today. And I have more videos, but because of the time stack, I don't want to go beyond. क्या हम तैयार है वेनेजुएला जैसे हम खत्म हो जाएंगे? क्या हम इसी तरह की प्रगति मार्ग जो है प्रकृति को, जो सहज संपदा और हमारी प्रकृति है उसको खत्म करे, उस तरह की प्रगति हम आगे बढ़ेंगे? आप सोचिए, जिस तरह वेनेजुएला खत्म हुआ, इंडोनेशिया, मेक्सिको, स्लोवेनिया, इसके बाद में क्या हमारे हिमालयन माउंटेन्स में हम शिव जी की ये करते हैं, लेकिन प्रगति के नाम पे हम हिमालयस के साथ छेड़छाड़ कर रहे हैं। क्या पूरा आइस पिघल जाता जिस तरह वेनेजुएला में खत्म ही हो गया पूरा। और स्विट्जरलैंड में भी देखा है आप समर में क्या हो रहा है वहां पर। ये रिपोर्ट आपको मैं जो भी बताया आपको वेबसाइट में मिलेगा, आप देख सकते हैं और आप जानकार हो जाइए कैसे स्विट्जरलैंड हम जाते हैं वहां पर टूर के लिए, जिस तरह हम हिमालय, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न हिमालयन रीजन, हिमाचल प्रदेश से जम्मू एंड कश्मीर तक जाते थे, आज क्या हाल है वहां। जस्ट सोचिए आप, खाली आप निकाल के टेम्परेचर्स देखिए आप, इतनी गर्मी या तेज बारिश क्यों हो रहा है, ये आप जानकार हो जाइए ताकि वर्तमान सुरक्षित हो और हम कुछ बचा के भविष्य में हमारे बच्चों को दे। इसलिए आप जो ऊर्जा की बात करते हैं कोल से, वो कितनी डेंजरस, अदानी और तमिलनाडु के साथ लो तरह की गोड़ वो अपने पर्यावरण को खत्म करती है, और जिस तरह वो गैस उबलता है वो कितनी हमारे को, हमारे ग्लेशियर्स को खत्म करती है हिमालयन में, और इतनी गर्मी बढ़ती है, हमारा जीना मुश्किल, और साथ में पर्यावरण का प्रदूषण। क्या इस तरह की ऊर्जा हमको जरूरत है? कॉप में क्या क्या बड़े बड़े बात करके आए मोदी जी, आते ही फिर नई ऊर्जा कोयले के साथ, और वो कितना दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण होगा। और उसी तरह फॉसिल फ्यूल जब उन्हें मिडिल ईस्ट गए, वहां पर फिर एक समझौता, और उनसे जो निकलता है वही यूरिया हम हमारी खेती में इस्तेमाल करते हैं। देखिए कितना, और वही हम खाते हैं। क्या सहज सिद्ध हम आहार खा रहे हैं हम, और पर्यावरण का नाश कर रहे हैं एक साइड उस तरह की खेती से, और उस तरह खेती से जो आहार हमें मिलता है पर्यावरण के साथ हमारा स्वास्थ्य भी खत्म। इसीलिए जब स्वास्थ्य ही ना रहा फिर क्या बचा? जब जान है जहां है, जब जान ही नहीं है जहां कहां से होगा। अगर जहां होना, पहाड़ी सुरक्षित होना चाहिए, और हमारे पर्यावरण सुरक्षित होना चाहिए। अगर ये सुरक्षित रहना है, सब कुछ हमारे हाथ में, क्योंकि हम जिम्मेदार बनना चाहिए, जानकार बनना चाहिए। तभी ये जो नाटक करते हैं कारपोरेट, जो पैसे देते हैं राजनीतिक दल, वो उनको हम रोक सके, क्योंकि वो पैसे से राजनीति करना चाहते हैं, और वो 10% के जो दुनिया के लोग हैं, वो बाकी 90% लोगों की जिंदगी को हराम करके जीना चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो भी नहीं जी पाएंगे। कहाँ भी जाओ, आज स्विट्जरलैंड में जो इतनी बड़ी ग्लेशियर वेनेजुएला में थी, वो भी खत्म हो गई, और वहां पर खाना और पीने के लिए लोग लाइन में रह रहे हैं, और वहां पर इतनी बड़ी आपत्ति आ चुकी है। क्या उस तरह की आपत्ति हम झेलना चाहिए? क्या आप सोचिए, आपकी जिंदगी वर्तमान हो या भविष्य हो, आपकी हाथ में, हमारे हाथ में। समझदार बन जाओ, जानकार बन जाओ। आपको समझदार बनाने के लिए, जानकार बनाने के लिए ही DRTSPR चैनल्स हो, सिटीजन्स DRTSPR चैनल्स हो। आज जो शो आएगा एनवायरमेंट पीपल DRTSPR चैनल्स हो, कहते ही हम परिश्रम करते हैं आधार के साथ, और सही क्या है आपको दिखाने की, समझदार करने की, जानकार करने की कोशिश हम करते ही रहेंगे। और जब यूट्यूब फेसबुक जो हमको दिखाने की स्वास्थ्य के ऊपर खत्म करते हैं हमारी, उस समय हम बिटशूट हो या रंबुल DRTSPR चैनल के द्वारा समाचार, विज्ञान हो वैज्ञानिक हो, आधार के साथ आपको पहुंचाने की कोशिश करते हैं। इसीलिए आप सदैव DRTSPR चैनल्स को सपोर्ट कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। मेरा नंबर 9440465339 है। कोई भी अगर चाहता है, आप इसमें मेरे को व्हाट्सएप कीजिए। आप ये शो में कहाँ भी हो, मैं आप कनेक्ट करके, आप जितना भी जानकार हो एक विषय पे है, लोगों के हित में रखने की कोशिश करता हूं। और यही 9440465339 को ही गूगल पे और फोन पे है, ताकि आप कंट्रीब्यूट कर सके, सपोर्ट कर सके, क्योंकि मैं निजी में किसी को आमंत्रित घर पे नहीं करता हूं। सो आई होप वी आर ट्राई टू DRTSPR channels, citizens DRTSPR channel, or environment people DRTSPR channels. We try to disseminate information, all those facts as per rule of law, constitution, invoking evidential act, so that you become informed, well informed, truly informed, so that you can take a decision, because you are the constitutional authority, having submitted constitution to yourselves. Rest all are, whether it is prime minister or chief minister, cabinet secretary or chief, they're all public servants. Once you become informed, truly informed, you can dictate as to how the present life should run, and the future for your own kith and kin to be secure. So do support DRTSPR channels in larger public interest. Thank you very much. Let me come to you with another topic tomorrow, next day. Till that time, become truly informed. Watch this channel. Would we like to go Venezuela way, or we will become responsible and see to that we will stop there so that these fossil fuels, they do not destroy the greenhouse gas emissions. They do not destroy. And in the name of development, deforestation or playing with Himalaya like mountains or mining in Western Ghats or on the seashore mining by these corporates, we will stop. Otherwise, we have to meet the fate of Venezuela, which is there in front of us, how Venezuela is suffering slowly but truly. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.